You tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the Sportscast. Tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hey guys, welcome into episode 51 of Watson's Playbook. I am riding solo this episode. It's going to be a quick, shorter episode for me this week. Just jumping into it. We've been trying to put out more content, which is great and fantastic. So just make sure you're checking and get those updates. You can subscribe to our account, and that way you get the updates as soon as we post the show. So we've been doing some weekend shows as well. This Saturday, I'm going to try and do another one. But we'll get into that here on What's in My Locker. All right, guys, we're going to start off with a little bit of the spotlight of the week this week, as we're going to discuss the NBA playoff picture. And right now, as it kind of looks, is we've got about 3 games left in the season as we go forward here. So the East, right now, the 76ers are pretty much going to lock up that number 1 seed. The Nets could catch them, but I think it's too far out of hand for them to catch them. So you look at the 76ers taking the number 1 seed, and that team is a team that really, when you go back and you look at the 76ers, it's how serious can we take them, right? They don't win. They don't get to the championship. They don't get past the hurdle. They're a pretty good team. They're one of the best in the East, and we're going to have to wait and see. They're kind of like, they remind me of the Utah Jazz. They're a team that's tough. They have good players, but can they put it all together and get over that hump? We're going to have to find out. So they right now are in the first seed. They're probably finished first in the East. Number 2, you got the Brooklyn Nets, the super team, the true super team in the NBA. They got Harden, Durant, and Kyrie Irving. I can't stand the Nets. I don't like super teams. I hope they fail. I don't think they make a championship this year. They're players that they have, the stud guys that they have, and those 3 haven't played a lot of games together. They've been hurt. They've been injured. Kyrie just got hit in the face with the elbow last night. He ended up leaving the game. So it's just wondering how much team chemistry they have, and can that be something they can get over in the playoffs? So they sit the number 2 seed right now. The Bucks take number 3. Last year, the Bucks finished first in the East. This year, it's been a little more quiet with them. They're, Antetokounmpo, Giannis isn't the MVP of the league right now. Last year he was, so maybe that's why they got a little more spotlight. And to me, I don't know about you guys, but the NBA season has seemed to fly by already, and we're almost to the playoffs and the play-in game coming up. So the Bucks land at number 3. You got the number 4, the Hawks, a good young team. I don't expect them to do much, though. So that's the difference between the East and the West is after you get past the 3 teams, it's kind of thinking, well, really, there's really no other contenders. The Miami Heat falling at number 5. They made it to the championship last year and fell short against the Los Angeles Lakers. But you look past number 3 and you're going, I don't think anybody else is a true contender and is going to make it difficult for the top 3 teams. So you got the Hawks at 4. Number 5, you got the Heat. The 6 falling at Knicks. This is a very good season for the Knicks. They played the Lakers last night. They ended up losing in overtime to a very close game. LeBron James didn't play last night, but The game went into overtime, and the Knicks had before the game started had the same record as the Los Angeles Lakers, and it's a good season for them. So, and then the 7, 8, 9 is the Celtics, Hornets, and Pacers. They're all into the playoff teams, the play-in teams. So they're going to have to battle it out to see who gets which seed and who might be going home out of those three teams. And I think the Celtics is very disappointing. They're a team that has a bunch of talent. They're a team that's got a bunch of young guys. They added some pieces over the offseason, and they just haven't got the job done. And I think it's all on their coach, Brad Stevens. He hasn't been able to really get these guys to play their full potential. You know, they added Kyrie Irving a couple years ago. He ended up leaving after saying he wanted to stay. He kind of really screwed over the organization. And they got the guy from Charlotte. I can't think of his name, but they brought him in to be a big piece of this team, and they just haven't molded well. They've had some injuries. I think the head coach needs to go, or something needs to change. This team is too talented to be in the 6th seed or 7th seed to be in the play-in game. They've got too much talent. I think Tatum's a very special player. I would love to have him on the Los Angeles Lakers, my team, but that's here nor there. Eventually we'll have to wait and see who gets in these playoff seeds. In the spots in the NBA playoffs, the 1 plays the 8, the 2 and the 7, the 3 and the 6, and the 4 and the 5. So the 76ers will be moving on, and so will the Nets, and more than likely the Bucks as well. So we'll see those 3 teams go forward, and it all depends on who they're going to play, depending on what happens in the play-in games. But right now, this is what we're kind of looking at, and I expect it to be the 76ers in the championship this year. I do think they get over the hump this year. I think it will be between them and the Brooklyn Nets. And I think the 76ers will quietly get in there and make it to the championship. We move on to the West here, and the West is a lot more difficult. The West, you got the Jazz at number 1, and I'll say this again: the Jazz don't scare me. They don't get over the hump. They make the playoffs consistently. They're usually not number 1, though. They're usually in the 7 or 8 seed, maybe 6 seed. But they don't scare me because they don't win in the playoffs. They've got to prove it to me that they can do so and win big series and go forward with that. They got a talented team with some good players, but I just don't know if they're going to make it through. Number 2, you got the Suns. And the Suns this season, to me, has been a big, huge surprise. I think their coach deserves maybe coach of the year, something like that. Kudos to him to get this team where it needs to be. They added Chris Paul in the offseason, and Chris Paul turns out is a really good leader. And he's like I talked about earlier in the year, that the Suns have been surprising, and that Chris Paul, I think, has brought leadership to such a young team, with Devin Booker being there, being able to score as many points as he wants pretty much. But Chris Paul brings in that leadership, and he's been a guy that knows how to win, and he played in plenty of playoff games. So maybe that adds something different. He's had a good season this year. I just don't like his contract, and that's why I didn't want him to come to LA, because I don't want to pay him $40 million a year for an aging player, because at some point he will drop off. Number 3, you got the Clippers, a team last year that had a bunch of turmoil going on. On paper, they should have been the champions, the best team in the league, but things fell apart, and they're looking to bounce back this year. It's been a really quiet year for Kawhi Leonard, and you haven't heard much about him. And you've heard, before the season started, you heard about all the drama going on with the Clippers, and so they're seeing if they can stay somewhat quiet and just go out there and win ball games. So they're going to be a tough team to beat. Number 4 is the Nuggets, and they are also a tough team to beat. They got Jokic, which seems to be the unanimous MVP this year. So kudos for him, a big man winning the MVP. That's good for the Nuggets. Murray, I don't think he's there. I think he's been hurt. I think he's out. So the Nuggets don't really scare me without Murray in the field and on the court playing. So they're a tough team, but I don't see them going past the second round. Number 5 and number 6. So the Trailblazers have Trailblazers and the Mavericks have the same record, but the Trailblazers hold the the advantage. So the five Trailblazers, number 6 is the Mavericks, and Trailblazers are always a team that are going to be there, right? They got Dame time and McCollum, and they're a team that's always going to be there. But can they get over that hump? And I think if they played in the East, they might be able to go further on in the playoffs. But they play in the West, which was very tough conference to play in, and I just don't think they're going to win it all. In my opinion, now they could prove me wrong. Are they a team that could upset somebody? Most definitely, but I don't see them going and being a real threat to the championship. Number 6 is the Mavericks, and this is a team too coming off of last year. They had some success for what they were projected to be. They made it to the playoffs. They gave the Clippers one heck of a run, but ended up losing. To be a successful season for the Mavericks, I think they have to go and win a playoff series. And that would be something that is when they're moving forward. And that would be what we would consider a successful season. They get the playoff win. They move on into the next round. They're not going to win it all. I think they're finding out right now that they can win without Porzingis. So I think over the offseason they might trade Porzingis. We'll see. When Porzingis is healthy, he's fantastic at what he does. It's just he's not reliable, and they got to get a guy in there that's reliable, number 2. So I think they move him in the offseason. But what can they get for him? I don't know. Would it be worth trading him if he doesn't have any trade value? I don't know. But the Mavericks will fall in there at number 6. And then the play-in teams are the Lakers, the Warriors, and the Grizzlies. Now, the Lakers are a tough team to beat when all healthy. That's been the biggest issue with them this year. They've dropped from the number 4 seed all the way down to number 7. And it's all been about injuries. Anthony Davis missed a lot of time. LeBron James has missed some time. LeBron James was supposed to come back last night. He didn't. Anthony Davis is now out again. He's going to miss tonight's game, and LeBron James is supposed to be back. So they'll probably be at number 7 and have to do the playoff play-in game against the Warriors. That'd be a good game. But with all health, I think it's just about getting into the playoffs at this point and getting healthy. And that's going to be a difficult situation for them. But that is the biggest thing for them is health wise, and I think that with LeBron James and Anthony Davis being healthy, I think the Lakers are the best team in the NBA, and that's a big if though. You look at Porzingis being hurt a lot, and they always say the best ability is availability. And we've seen LeBron James break down a couple of times. And with the Lakers, he got hurt and missed a lot. Sorry, I just got an interesting text. We've seen LeBron James get hurt and miss more games than he has in his whole entire career with the Lakers. And that's worrisome for Laker fans. That's very worrisome for them. And with him playing and Anthony Davis playing, I believe we can win it again. Back to back, we have the team, we have the roster, we have the bench to do so. But we've seen LeBron James get hurt. We've seen him get injured. He came out and said that he will never be 100% again with the ankle injury. He's got to fight through and be tough. And LeBron James is a tough player. That doesn't scare me. What scares me more is if Anthony Davis is out. And Anthony Davis is really our number 1. He's a guy that will dominate a game, take over a game. LeBron James can do that too, but I think he's passed that torch over to Anthony Davis. And with Anthony Davis being out, that scares me a lot. We do have a talented team around him, and in my opinion, it's more of a fact than an opinion. We have a better roster than we did last season, and that's just fact. Now it's putting all the pieces together, staying healthy to go forward. So the Lakers will play the Warriors in a play-in game more than likely with the 3 games left to go to the playoffs. And then if they stay in the 7th seed, we'll face the Suns in the first round. And I don't think the Suns want anything to do with the Los Angeles Lakers first round. But that's the spotlight of the week this week. It's going to be an interesting race the last 3 games going forward to see what's going to happen in the playoffs. So we will figure it out, and we'll do some more information. We'll have some more information coming in when we find out the full standings, who's where, who's what, the playoff games, who's the play-in games, and who wins those to set up eventually the NBA playoffs this season. But I tell you what, I feel like the NBA playoffs have been the NBA season has gone by in a blink of an eye, and it's just came and gone. So we're jumping into the headlines now, and I just got a text from Jeff. Yes, the Jeff that's on the show with me. It's about Broncos executives believe there is a real possibility for them to acquire quarterback Aaron Rodgers from the Packers. The Broncos started to discuss a potential trade package for Rodgers. Now, yes, the big thing about this too is the Broncos not only are they interested in Green Bay or the Aaron Rodgers, right? I think they're a quarterback away from being a really good team and a potential Super Bowl team with Aaron Rodgers. But they're the second most cap in the NFL, so they have the room and flexibility to do those things. So they have those things to make it work. We'll get into more of that later on in our next episode this weekend. So I want to save some of that. I don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. That's been the biggest news this offseason. It's taken over the Deshaun Watson debacle going on there in Houston. So we'll have to figure out what's going to happen, and that'll be a continuing pipeline of news coming in. So, all right, headlines of the week. The NFL schedule to release today. They're going to have a 3-hour event tonight, releasing all the scheduling going forward. So we know right now the Super Bowl champions, the defending Buccaneers, will face the Dallas Cowboys opening day. They'll host the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football. So Dallas should go ahead and plan to start the season 0-1. The Bucs are bringing everybody back. It's a Super Bowl team. They're very tough, and Dak Prescott is going to have a difficult time. He's going to be running around the ankle a lot, I feel. So good luck with the Cowboys there. But that's the opening game, and what a game it is to open off the NFL season. So that schedule will fall on tonight, and we'll be able to wake up tomorrow with all the information going forward. I know the Packers play the Saints in week 1 as well. That's going to be a great game as long as Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback for Green Bay. So that's kind of funny. Well, it's not funny at all, but it's kind of interesting that they made the schedule going forward, and they made a big promotion between Aaron Rodgers versus Kansas City Chiefs, and they took that promotion down because they didn't know about Aaron Rodgers being in Green Bay anymore. So they made the schedule with Aaron Rodgers being in Green Bay, and they put us in some primetime games against some good quarterbacks. But if Aaron Rodgers isn't in there, then it doesn't have that same type of hype. So we'll see what happens. But that's NFL schedule drops this week or tonight. We have a 3-hour episode show on it. So that's going to be not us, but I think that's on ESPN. They're going to have a 3-hour show on it. Number 2, the Jacksonville Jaguars to consider signing Tim Tebow at tight end. And this has been a story that came up last week. And my first response was, if Tim Tebow wanted to be a tight end, why did he refuse to be a tight end when he didn't make it as a quarterback? He didn't make it as the NFL quarterback. He was a fantastic college quarterback, one of the best college quarterbacks in the history of college football. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But he failed to be a quarterback in the NFL. When they asked him to switch to tight end, he says, I'm a quarterback. I'm not doing that. And then he left to go play baseball, and that didn't work out for him. Well, he left to go do an analyst. Then he worked out to try to be a baseball player. And now he's back in the NFL at 33 years old, trying to be a Jacksonville Jaguar. Why is that? Well, his coach, Urban Meyer, who coached him up really good in college football, is the head coach now of Jacksonville. And although Urban Meyer says he hasn't had much to do with the decisions or even looking at Tim Tebow, which I think is bullcrap, they have to make a decision pretty soon, and I think they will hire him. He's an athletic guy. He's been staying in shape, and he can move. He can catch the ball. So I don't see any harm, no foul in this. Now everyone's coming up in arms about it, and they're bringing race into it, which is ignorant as heck. Not everything has to do with race in a discussion. I'm not going to discuss that crap here. It doesn't matter that he's white. What matters is that his head coach, Coach Tim Tebow, knows what kind of player he is, knows what kind of leadership he can bring, and I think that's exactly why the Jacksonville Jaguars are looking at him as Urban Meyer as a head coach, because he knows Urban Meyer's system. He knows Urban Meyer's work ethic. He knows what Urban Meyer is looking for in practices and everything going forward. So I think it's just bringing one of his own guys in type of thing. I don't really think Tim Tebow will be a good tight end, in my opinion, but I don't think that's really why he's there. I really think it's just for the team, it's a PR move to sell more jerseys, to sell more tickets. Maybe come see Tim Tebow. Maybe Urban Meyer puts him in some wildcat formations. I don't know, but if Tim Tebow is athletically still to par to be able to play in the NFL, then we'll see. Tight end's a tough position to play, so to never play the position and just come in here and at 33 years of age without playing football since I don't even know how long it's been. If he can do it, then good luck and good job. I'll give you a pat on the back. But this whole thing about race and stuff is ignorant. Straight up ignorant. The NBA Hall of Fame ceremony is this weekend. It got some all-time greats going in. We got Tim Duncan, who had a fantastic career with the Spurs, many championships with them. Kevin Garnett as well. And then, of course, you got the Black Mamba himself, Kobe Bryant, going in. I'm going to record this. I want to see Michael Jordan is talking on the behalf of Kobe Bryant, and I want to see that. I want to see what he says. See what all goes down at the Hall of Fame ceremony for Kobe Bryant. Still touchy subject. I'm sure Michael Jordan will still probably get emotional over all of it, but I'm looking forward to seeing that him go in there, and I know the NBA Hall of Fame, excuse me, is kind of washed down, and they kind of let anybody in, but Kobe Bryant is definitely a Hall of Fame. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Tim Duncan, and Kevin Garnett as well. So you got those guys going in and others as well. But that's this weekend. So that snuck up on me. I heard that today, and I was like, oh, wow, I didn't even really think about it. And I forgot Kobe Bryant was going in this year. So be interesting to see what Michael Jordan says about him. So that is really all I got this week sports-wise going forward. The NFL releasing their schedule is the biggest news of the week. In my opinion, you got, the NBA playoffs wrapping up, and we're going to see who's in those playoff games and the play-in games. I keep saying playoff games, play-in games. So we'll see where that goes from there. All right, guys, in my locker this week, tomorrow I do a final walk of my brand new house. I know you're probably getting sick and tired of hearing about it, but look, I'm super excited. I can't help it. I'm going to keep talking about it. All right. This is big for my family. It's a big move for us. Our last move, hopefully we ever have to make, into a brand new house, and to get my girls in their forever home, their childhood home, get them in the schools and let them make friends and stop moving around. So it's fantastic for us, and God has blessed us really good. And I thank him every day for that. So we do our final walk tomorrow. Make sure everything's up to par. Nothing else needs to be fixed. We got our rain gutters, which are on back order, but that's okay. As our manager Wesley's been fantastic, and he said, "Hey guys, your rain gutters are in back order. They might not be done by the final walk. And I said, that's fine as long as we can move in on the 21st. You can put those gutters on later on. So we got that going on tomorrow. So that's going to be exciting for us. And then a week from Thursday, we sign on our house, baby. We sign on our house. So that Thursday, I got to get off work early. We got to go to the bank. My wife's going to drop the kids off at my brother-in-law's house. They're super fantastic. They've been watching the kids for us when we need them to do the house stuff, and they're going to watch them for Thursday, Friday, so we can sign on Thursday. Friday, we got movers coming in the morning. That afternoon, I got a funeral to go to. My uncle passed away a couple months ago, so I'm going to go support him, show my respect and support my Aunt Robin. And then, so we got the movers coming that Friday morning, and then we got kid free to be able to get some things done, go to the funeral, and then we got our washer and dryer. We went and bought a washer and dryer last weekend because we've heard there was a shortage of washer and dryers, but we went and there was plenty of them. But we still bought one, and we're gonna have it delivered. So that'll be delivered Saturday, and just exciting stuff for us going forward. Work's been a total biznatch at work. I've been working 12. I put in 13 hours today. Actually, yeah, 13 hours. I came home, ate a little bit, hung out with the wife for about 30 minutes, did this podcast. And when I get done with this podcast, it's bedtime. I got to go back into work at midnight. And so with this new position at work, it's been kicking my butt, but it's going to be better money, and I'll get the better hang of it once I get going forward into it. If you have any questions on what I do and what it's like to drive a trash truck, let me know. It's a pretty fun job, and I do love my job. So, and then this Saturday, I got a special episode, hopefully this weekend, with Casey. He's been on here before. He's a Packer fan as well. So we're going to talk about the Aaron Rodgers situation in Green Bay and Green Bay moving forward. So look forward to that episode. We'll throw in a little bit of other things. He's a Utah Jazz fan, so I'll ask him a couple questions about the Jazz and going forward, and if he's looking forward to the playoffs or not. We're going to talk about the Aaron Rodgers situation with him. I want to get pick his mind about the situation, and another Green Bay fan. So that is fantastic for me. So look forward to that coming out this weekend, probably Saturday, maybe Monday, but it'll be done this weekend and going forward. So that's going to be it for this episode. It's short and quick, and we're going to throw out more content at you guys. The more content, the better. Sorry, the more content. I can't talk today. The more content, the better. Now, that being said, look forward to the podcast every Wednesday. I do it on Tuesday. I pop it up on Wednesday usually. When I get into the new house, I'm going to order a computer, and me and Jeff will hopefully be able to get on to YouTube Live, our YouTube channel back up again and working with the effects and all that good stuff of the video. And then Jeff's working on OBS right now, trying to figure that out. So hopefully when I move and be able to get that computer, be able to do more things with it, and be able to get that YouTube channel back up and rolling. We'll be able to do live feeds. So that's going to be fantastic. But we're throwing more content out for you, and hope you like it. And if you like it, please follow, please share it with your friends. If you like sports, like I said, we do this just for fun. It's just something fun and a hobby of ours, and we hope you enjoy them. You can reach out to me at watsonsplaybook@gmail.com if you have any questions about what I do for a living. I'm driving a trash truck. If you have any questions about my kids, personally, whatever, sports takes, opinions, hot topics, anything you want to talk about, I'm here for you. If you need a shoulder to lean on, I'm here for you. I'm a pretty friendly guy, pretty sociable. So reach out to us, guys. We would love the feedback. You can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeart Radio. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple. We're pretty much anywhere. We have a Facebook page. We have a Twitch page. We have a Twitter page, all on Watson's Playbook. All right, guys. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Get closer to the weekend. God bless you and take care.